I'm really starting to understand that it's okay to not know everything. Just in the way that I think it's okay to make mistakes given certain situations, and it's okay to make mistakes and learn as you grow. It's almost about recognizing that it's okay not to know everything right now. It's okay not to know everything about yourself. It's okay to not know everything about other people. It's okay to not understand everything about the world, about how you experience it, about how you live it. It's okay to not fully understand these things at this point in time. And when I say that it's okay to not know it, I don't necessarily mean in the sense that it's like, okay, you need to accept it so that then you can focus so hard to understand it and then finally understand then and then it'll all be good. But I mean in the sense that it's almost about letting go. It's about letting go of almost the control that you have over your understanding of the world, over your understanding of life. It's about recognizing that you don't have control over them. Certain things, certain lessons, they just come with time. You learn them eventually. And it's about having faith that you will eventually learn these lessons. It's about having faith that even if you don't understand something now, you will understand it later. God will reveal to you the answers when you need them for the test. And, I don't literally mean that in a school sense. But I really just mean that in a sense that I think it's important that we recognize that it's okay not to know everything. It's okay to make mistakes. Just like how in like different TV shows and everything, the characters make mistakes, even if they're severe ones, and they learn from it and then they grow. I think it's important that we give ourselves that leeway as well. Not necessarily the leeway that, oh, okay, I can continue making mistakes despite me knowing my lesson. But the leeway to say, okay, I made this mistake because I didn't fully understand this. I made this mistake because I wasn't fully aware of what it could do, of the impact that it would really have. I thought it would turn out one way, but it turned out another way. It's about recognizing that we have so much power over the amount of faith that we put in it. It's okay not to know everything right now. It's okay not to understand everything right now. And that's okay. It's even a good thing because I think that if we understood everything right now, then no experience that we have would give us the opportunity to grow. Life isn't just, oh, you understand everything and then the rest of your life is easy. It's about gradually learning more and more as you go along. And certain lessons, this is something I understood, but certain lessons, I think, in certain circumstances, they could almost be the opposite. Like how you're supposed to be kind and loving towards everyone. But then in certain situations, you're supposed to distance yourself from other people if they're a bad influence on you. Those two things, they seem pretty contrasting, but they're both equally valid. So it's almost about recognizing that it's okay not to know everything. It's okay to be patient. And not be patient in the sense that you're waiting for it, but be patient in the sense that you've accepted that it will happen, that you will understand, and having faith in that and existing from that point of view. Because, one of the examples I have is kind of how we're taught, I saw a video on this a while ago, but kind of how in elementary school and when we're younger, we're taught things that are not true. But for the sake of simplicity, for the sake of us understanding it at that point in time. Like, oh, in 1492, Columbus sailed the ocean blue, and then he met the Native Americans, everyone was happy, and then, it went from there. But then as you grow older, as you start to develop more, then they begin to tell you what it really was. They then begin to tell you more and more about what the actual circumstances were. So it's about recognizing that life is like that in a sense. Life is having a general understanding about something at a given point in time, and that understanding becoming more and more refined, more and more exact, more and more precise as you go along. It's not about, being in the second grade and they tell you all the atrocities that the Europeans committed against the Native Americans right off the bat, because that won't help you with your understanding. That won't help you at that point in time. So it's about recognizing that your understanding is supposed to help you at a given point in time. And then when that understanding gets challenged, it's not necessarily about throwing it completely away, it's about modifying it. And modifying it can be replacing it with something better. When your understanding is challenged, it's not about stressing about it like, oh, I was wrong this whole time. Because if it served you until that point, then it wasn't a bad thing. but it's about recognizing that and you realize that something that you thought, something that you believed was not fully accurate. It's then about modifying that belief once you recognize that and existing from there. So I'm really just starting to understand that, it's okay not to know everything. And the last point I have is just that when we don't know everything, it's not about leaning on our own understanding, but God's understanding. His perfect timing, His perfect will for all of our lives. Because we're never going to know everything. But then our Father, He literally knows everything. He knows everything from the past, everything from the present, and everything from the future. So why would we not rely on His understanding over ours? Even if we can't see it right now, it's about having faith that His perfect will for our lives will be done. That what He says is the truth. And what He says is truly His love for us and will lead us to a better place. That's really just along the lines of Proverbs 3, verses 5 to 6, and it says, "Trust in the Lord with all thine heart, and lean not unto thine own understanding. In all thine ways acknowledge Him, and He shall direct thy paths." So it's about leaning on God. It's about recognizing that it's not about what you know. It's about what you have faith that God will guide you to do. So, I hope you just got something from this video. Thank you for watching.